Welcome to our channel, Digital Wellness. As we all know, communication is fundamental to child's development. Children need to be able to understand and to be understood. And communication is one main factor in that. At the same time, to have a good communication, child need to have a good confidence. This confidence allows child to experience so much more in life. If your child is confident, they're more likely to explore new situation, any environment, and build that resilience. And they take risk and make new friends, and of course talk to people who matters to them. So today we have with us subject matter expert Rama. Rama is having an experience over 17 years of working experience as a supplemental education provider. And we are glad to know that Rama has touched more than 1,500 students studying in preschool and high school, coming from different cultural, economical, and intellectual background. So, welcome Rama to our channel, Digital Wellness.
Thank you, Manjula. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experience working with children.
Thank you, Rama, for taking our invitation and coming to our channel. Rama, I wanted to ask you on why this communication or effective communication in early childhood education is important, and what is the specific areas of child's development affected by this introducing early childhood communication?
As you put it yourself, Manjula, early communication in childhood is important because children need to understand and express their own emotional states and develop the emotional intelligence. We all know that toddlers always throw tantrums. They cry and they make a fuss. That's only because they don't have the language skills to express their thoughts. Unfortunately, when the children don't receive the proper communication education in their early ages, it kind of continues towards their later years. So the biggest concern I hear from parents, especially the parents of younger children, is that their children don't participate in classrooms. They tell me that my child knows the answer, but they don't want to raise their hands. And when the children don't participate in classrooms, Manjula, it kind of makes it hard for the teachers to do a fair evaluation. So this tells us that it's important for the children to develop the communication skills in the early stages. And we all know that the research shows that the child's most critical learning skills happen in the first 5 to 7 years of their learning. So it involves all kinds of learning, including the communication skills. So which is the reason why introducing effective communication in early childhood is important. Coming to your second part of the question, like what are the specific areas that children develop with early communication? Children develop the very important language skills. Mm-hmm. I believe the children at age 3 are expected to know about 900 to 1,000 words, but by the time they reach, let's say 10 years, they're expected to know 20,000 words. So this can happen only with proper communication. And children also develop the social skills. So when they're able to express their thoughts with their friends, as you mentioned, they're also able to make friends. So communication plays a big role in developing the social skills and also the discipline. So if the child is not able to follow the instructions, they are not able to be disciplined. So communication plays a big role in discipline. And the listening skills. So children are able to understand which impacts their learning skills. So communication has a big factor in developing the listening skills of the children. And most of all, I believe as an educator, I believe every child deserves an opportunity to discover and develop their full potential. for which early communication becomes very important. In my opinion, there are two factors contributing to this. So one is the child's environment at home, and the other one is their formal education. So there are a few things that the parents can do. I mean, we all live in a society where we have nuclear families. So parents play a huge role in developing those early communication skills. So they can come up with a few things. So starting from, like with younger children. So it's, if they plan for some reading time, like I tell my parents that they should start reading to the children even before the child starts to talk. So when they start reading, they are developing the language skills and they are developing the comprehension skills. And most of all, reading also develops, like it's like opening a door to a new world where children are able to discover what they really want to do. And children, I also tell the parents, I'm making my answer long here, I'm sorry about that. So I tell the parents to make sure that they don't ask closed-ended questions. So if you ask questions that elicits yes, no, good, bad answer, the child's communication is limited there. Instead, ask open-ended questions. Instead of asking, hey, did you have a good day at school? Why not ask what was the favorite part of the day at school? Instead of asking, did you like that book or did you like that movie? Ask, tell me about the main character of the movie. So what part did you like most? And it's also important that parents create an atmosphere at home where the family comes together and talk about what happened in the day. So these are the factors that really helps has a big impact on child's early childhood development. And the external factors that make a big influence is the preschool programs the children attend. So here in US, the kindergarten starts at age 5, but remember the child's critical learning happens between 5 to 7 years of age. So if the child is involved in preschool, or if the child goes to daycare, or if the child is involved in any extracurricular activities, it really helps the children develop their communication skills in early childhood.
Okay, yeah. I think that was an very interesting, insight that you gave us. It's good that we always ask, open-ended question and a lot of parental conditioning and early, exposure to the child's education. All these are important tips that you gave us. This communication is one of the life skills, what I understood from your answer. Same way, can you tell us about the importance of self-confidence in students' life?
Self-confidence is huge. So it's an important skill for a child to develop if they really want to realize their full potential. We all know that nobody can be successful without trying. So one needs to push boundaries, which requires self-confidence. I would like to share some of my personal experience here. So when I meet with children, I kind of come up with a goal for children. I tell them, hey, your child can reach a certain stage. They can even go beyond what they are doing at school in a specific time period. So a lot of times what I hear from parents is, oh, that seems kind of far-fetched. So, I'm happy if my child is comfortable with what they are doing at school. We don't want them to struggle. So my thought there is, if you don't have confidence in your child, how do you expect your children to develop that confidence? So, it's important that, parents instill that confidence. It's not just parents. I really work towards instilling the confidence in children wherever they start. So as an educator, I believe that with proper structure and discipline, every child has the ability to go beyond the academics. So it's important that the children get that confidence with positive feedback from parents. So there are other things that happen with self-confidence, Manjula. So self-confidence boosts the creativity. So I work with children where children go beyond the specific school curriculum. So sometimes children come up with solutions which are completely outside the box. I mean, I have seen children doing eighth grade work only when they are in fifth grade, and they do the work completely differently. So they are not really sticking to that bookish knowledge. So they are able to think beyond. So that's because they are confident about themselves. And self-confidence also helps the children handle failure and disappointments differently. So I give feedback to the children after they take some tests. I see a clear difference between the children who are confident and children who are not. Children who are confident are able to take the criticism pretty well, so they're ready to move on with the next chapter, whereas children who are not confident, give them a slight feedback, they start crying, they are nervous. I don't know if it is the feeling that it's not well taken at home. So it's important that children are taught to face challenges and experience failures in early life, because if they are not exposed to those challenges in early life, they really struggle later in their life. And I also believe that self-confidence has a big impact on the leadership skills. So we know that many of our leaders were not necessarily the toppers in their schools or colleges. But one thing that's really common with all our leaders are they're always confident with what they know. And I have experienced those leadership skills develop with children, as early as elementary school or middle school, where they go out and form the clubs. They are involved with so many extracurricular activities in school. So I believe that's because of the self-confidence. And I also believe that self-confidence develops self-efficacy. So children who are self-confident, they are self-motivators. They know how to set realistic goals and they stay focused on the goals. So I have worked with multiple children where they excel in school, they get placed at higher tracks in school, and some of them have even skip grades. So they know what their skills are. They know what their level of skills are. So they are motivators. You don't need somebody to motivate them. And they are self-confident, they are able to motivate themselves.
Okay, yeah, I think that was a very interesting, part that you said. That confidence builds creativity in children. That is, excellent takeaway. I think children think out of the box thinking, and the self-efficacy. All this comes with this, self-confidence and resilience to overcome critical thinking. All this and come up with the creative thinking. Well said, Rama. Uh, can you give some of the important communication strategies to build, child self-esteem in order to boost their self-confidence? Some of your experience that you have come across.
Absolutely. So self-esteem comes from children getting praised. So it's not just about somebody saying that you're the best or you're good at everything that you do. Manjula, pretty much on a daily basis, I meet with children who, come to me to get to receive my feedback. Just by looking at the sparkle in their eyes, even without looking at the work, I know that they have done a great job. So they really strive to get that recognition from me, their teacher, and also their parents. So my advice to the parents is just be specific when you praise them. It's not about like saying that, oh, you're the best. So you want to tell them, hey, I really like the way you performed in the dance class today, or I like your nature of helping somebody. So simple things like I like the way you share, and whatever drawing you had done is creative. So getting that praise really, really boosts the self-esteem. That's the biggest thing. And it's also important for parents to understand that they should recognize the effort, not just the outcome. We all know that not every child can be at the top of the class. So when the parents set an expectation which the child is not able to meet, it has a negative impact. So we want to make sure that parents recognize the effort they put. So even when they don't come up with good outcome if I know that the child really focused. So if they put their effort into doing the work. So getting that feedback really makes the children want to put more effort and do their best. So parents want to keep in mind when they get, let's say, 90 out of 100 in the test, instead of asking, why did you make 10 mistakes there? Tell them, hey, you did a good job of getting 90 correctly. So that's really important. And other thing I notice is avoiding comparisons. So I have worked with many twins and siblings where one of them go ahead of the other. So I really look into the eyes of the children and tell them, see, it's all about yourself. Forget about children in the classroom. Forget about your sister. Your learning is for yourself. If you focus on your strengths, you can always be successful. So it's important that they are not compared and made to feel they're always inferior to somebody. So that's important. And the biggest self-esteem booster I have seen and experienced with thousands of children I have worked with is giving the children the opportunity to work independently. So most of us as parents tell our children, if you don't understand, ask for help. That seems like a very valid thing to do, right? But I have a different philosophy here. If you don't understand, I ask them, did you really try? So when children come to me, so believe me, I have children who, like, I can think of a 5th grader who is doing 11th grade math. So you can imagine how high the skills are for the child. So every time I ask the child, hey, you're doing something new today, do you want to go over the example with me? The child always comes back and says, I want to try first. So that's a huge self-esteem there, right? So you want to really give the opportunity for the child to think. So when they think 9 out of 10 times, they come back and tell me, hey, Miss Rama, I got it already. So that is such a self-confidence booster. So give the child the opportunity. They need to experience their own success. So they continue to amaze us if you give them the opportunity to succeed.
Oh, yes. That's so, I feel that's so true. Like, when, giving that genuine appreciation and, look at the effort, not the results. That's so true. So when I say, child's development, parental conditioning plays a, lot of parent play a crucial role in child's life, whether it's building their confidence or effective communication. So how does this attitude of parents play a role in all this stuff?
As with everything in life, Manjula, parents need to be proactive and recognize the issues. So we know that children go through different issues at different stages of growth. So, like for a young child, they don't know what is getting bullied. They're getting bullied, but they don't know how to recognize that. Or they get into drug problems as they get into teenage years, or even like abused by adults around them. So these are the issues children go through every day in their life. And it's in many cases, unless the parent starts the conversation, Manjula, the children don't know to express it to the parents. So it's important that the parents start those, they need to recognize and start those conversations with the children. And it's important to teach the children to express with words, whether it is an young child or an older child. So, when the child starts crying, I tell them, I understand you're upset, but I need to know what's really bothering you. You want to express with words. Which also comes to another point. It's easy to get carried away. We all get upset when our children are upset, but you want to develop a good habit of listening to your children. And I have heard from many children that, oh, my parents think that they are always right. So, that's not really true, right? So unless parents put conscious efforts to listen to their children, and unless they're open-minded, it's hard for the children to relate to them, right? And it's important that parents also share their life experiences and express to the children that they are not alone. That's like showing empathy is really important. So showing empathy plays a big role in building trust with the parents. And I believe that's key in developing self-confidence and self-esteem. And ultimately, parents need to prepare the children for challenges as well as failures, as I mentioned to you before. And it's also important for parents to understand that children are their own individual, and it's important to understand their interests, not our interests. I mean, success in life, in my opinion, is not getting into a well-known college or earning a degree in a desirable field. So you want to understand what is important to your child. So when you understand what is important to your child, children know that they can freely pursue what they want, and they can soar higher. We want to make sure that we teach our children to dream and achieve higher, and all of us can do that with a little bit of understanding, a little bit of empathy, and also trusting our children and develop the trust between them and us.
That's so well said, Rama. As you said, parents play a crucial role, I think, yeah. And, parents are the biggest, they're critics, and they are the one who can, make or break kind of a thing. So, and they need to, I think parents are biggest role model for children. I think that's what, instead of what they see, I think parents, they need to walk what they talk, because
Yeah,
children is
parents
what
and teachers too, Manjula. Like
teachers
there
do.
are times where parents come and tell me, "I tried this so many times, but when my child gets it from you, they really get it." So
Correct, correct.
it is such a joyful experience building the trust. So as adults, we have a big role to play. Whoever gets an opportunity to work with children need to remember that they are contributing a lot to the child's success. I mean, of course, it's not just one person. We are building a community here, right? So we
Yes.
need to understand and we need to be aware of our interaction with children. So building the trust and seeing the joy, makes the life worthwhile. Yeah.
Thank you, Rama. This was really an insightful, conversation, and you've given a lot of tips. Hope these things have helped our viewers. And thank you once again for coming into our channel and spending your quality time with us.
Thank you,
Um,
Manjula.
that
Yeah.
was an insightful conversation with Rama. Hope you liked our video. Please do like, share, subscribe to our channel Digital Wellness. Stay tuned for more interesting stories. Thank you.